Welcome to the Sky Podcast. You have this way of talking to people, and I always mention this, like you are able to command respect because of the tone of your voice, the volume of your voice, and even the words that you choose to say. No matter if it's you're talking to CEOs or friends or even your family members or even like our kasambahays.
Yeah.
There's a certain something in your voice, like a je ne sais quoi, that makes you...
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Wow.
That makes people really listen to you. What do you think that is, and how did you like come to
I think I have a
that?
deep voice and I have a very big voice.
That's true.
That's one.
Yeah.
And I think my mannerism when I'm talking, I'm very gesture. I'm very
You're
full
filled
of
with
hand gestures. And also, I think it's growing up in construction where you're having to deal with a lot of people talaga. Not just the people that you work for, but a lot of people that are trying to influence your decision, trying to get money from you, or trying to... So you're working with suppliers, you're working with CEOs of other companies, you're working with mga laborers. So it's just a wide range of people that you have to get a feel for.
Yeah, and I also feel like there's kind of an assurance in your voice. You're so sure of yourself.
Kahit hindi sakto.
Yeah, but it makes a difference, because me, even though I've done the research, when I say it, it's always like, but
May
it could be
question
wrong.
mark.
Like, kanya-kanya pa rin. Like, there's always room for the other person to tell me, no, that's not what I know. Even when it's like our midwife and it's Scotty, like even if I know, like, hey, I read somewhere that he can't have salt. That's how I would say it, right? So she's gonna say like, ma'am, okay lang yan. Like, even ako, la 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 la.
No, sa akin kasi pag diretsuhin ko kasi na, don't give him salt. Diretso, wala na siyang, it's not a question.
It's very boss of you.
Yeah. Si Scotty not allowed to have salt.
And me, I'm a very like peer kind of, even when we have like other employees, right? I'm always the friend and you're always the boss. Yeah.
Ganyan ba?
I don't think it's a bad thing.
I try to keep professional relationships professional as much as possible, but because I believe in the saying na familiarity breeds contempt. Like if they're too close, para kayong barkada. I mean, you can be a good boss without having to make everybody your barkada.
Right.
'Di ba? Pag barkada na kasi, medyo nabablur yung lines from work and friendship.
Right.
So, I can be your boss. I can still be a friend to you. I'll treat you well. I'll take care of you. But, meron tayong boundary. Because the things I say should be followed in a certain way. But I also know that I talk a certain way, like
Right.
this.
Right.
Na very commanding.
Right.
So, I always try to end my questions with, are you okay with this? Kasi alam ko na kaya siyang ipupush ko yung issue without getting feedback anymore, and they'll just do it. Na wala akong nakukuha from the person that works for me. So, I think that's a disservice because you're hiring good people so that they can tell you what to do also. Diba?
Yeah.
So,
me naman, like, when I have people that work for me, like for example, our editor, I invite her over, we have lunch, I cook for her, we have dessert together, we chica.
Yeah.
I don't think that's something that you do with your employees, which isn't bad. It's just a different style, right?
sa akin, I can be friends with even our editors. I can be friends with them, but meron pa rin konting like gap.
Yeah, and I think that's just like that's how it is. Like it's a personality thing more than anything.
Probably, but
I think so,
I think
because-
it's also studied from my end because I read a lot of management books.
Okay.
I read a lot of negotiation books. So I don't know where I got it from but it's like that's why alam ko na may boundary talaga.
Right.
Like the term familiarity breeds contempt, ganyan. Parang
It's studied.
it's half studied.
But there's also another difference of ours because you are always like researching about everything and studying. And I don't know if that's a guy thing and a girl thing. That I'm very like feel out the situation. Let's see how we can go from here. I don't really like to research about how to act in a certain situation, how to like negotiate, which is it's cool that you do that because then you can teach me. But it's so different on our ends. you know? And I don't know if that's a guy thing or a girl thing because my dad's super logical and my mom's super emotional.
I think it's not a guy thing, girl thing. I think it's more a personality type. Like you're more spontaneous. I tend to be like optimize, like productivity, and like, oh, if you're gonna do this, better do this right na lang, ganyan. I think
That's how I feel about giving Scotty salt.
oh, pero I would say I can be flexible in a way because, for example, when I was building my light block, my business, sobrang kailangan mo maging nimble and creative because it's not in the books.
Right.
But
It's a new, like you're pioneering a product. You don't know like how to do it yet.
Yeah,
whatever.
so spontaneous ka dapat. But it's also in the book na
You have to be
spontaneous ka sa
spontaneous,
simula.
right,
So
right.
parang hindi ko alam kung
I wonder
saan
if
ko
you can.
nagkagaling.
I wonder if you can actually like do something without researching it.
I can. I really can. But
Do you want to?
No, I don't. Like, for example, when I'm trying to learn about how to drill holes in tiles.
Right.
Parang ayokong, alam ko kasi there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. I don't want to break tiles. I don't want to experiment.
It's funny because whatever you do before you do it, you always like have the research to back it up, kind
Yeah.
of. But me and my siblings growing up, we're just kind of like, oh, let's try this out, let's wing it, and then obviously it ends up failure.
But I think mas ma-research mga tao ngayon. Like, if hindi
In the age of the
na-invent
internet.
yung internet, I wouldn't be a research guy. I'd probably be like a textbook guy, but hindi siya like everything has to be researched. I'll be like, try it out and see if it works. Because I do that a lot in my business. When there's no information of how to solve a new problem, I always try it out. I spend a lot of money in R&D because we fail a lot of the times. So parang ganyan.
Yeah, I think that's also very current of you, like spending money in R&D. Like, I have never had a business na I had to have R&D. And now, like, it's amazing just how different we are, even when it comes to running a business.
Yep.
Right? Like, I never would think to have an R&D department
Yeah.
or invest money in it. Like, my money, for me, I'll put it into stocks and bonds and all these things, which you're also not into. Like, speaking of finances.
I'm into a little bit of stocks and which how we invest also, diba? But more on parang mas gusto ko yung tangible things.
Right,
Like,
right.
and I
It's
think
just
it's the
so
engineer
different.
in me na parang very visual kasi ako. And I think also like when it comes to investing, it's good that we're different. It's good that we complement each other. Like for example, with this podcast, I like to have proper setup,
Gear,
research,
yeah.
gear. Like, okay, if we're gonna do this right. Diba? Parang ganyan. So, and
It's a complementary skill set.
yeah,
Yours and mine.
Yes, and that's why I always say na I like having, even in my businesses, a girl's point of view. Iba talaga mag-isip ang girls. Like,
You're so
I'm
lucky to have
generalizing. Yeah. I'm generalizing. Pero ang lalaki kasi very, pag may kalaban, competition, parang
attack mode.
attack.
Right.
Pero girls like, how can we solve this by working together? Mas
Right.
just little examples like that. Like parang mas napansin ko, it's good to have that yin and yang also. Like even when it comes to sales, my sales people na lalaki, iba yung attack nila, like aggressive selling, like tapos the girl is mas may lambing.
Right, yes.
So especially in construction where you're dealing with a lot of
Male
guys
figures.
and ego.
Right.
Meron kasi mga, oh, why are you selling? Alam ko na yan, mga ganyan. So, girls tend to have that lambing na, sir, may bibenta ako sa'yo, sir, ha?
Yeah, because it's weird if a guy like you do it. Like, sure naman. It's so weird.
Yes,
Yeah.
and yung mga guy salespeople, sometimes get into fights with customers.
No.
Yun nga, ego battle.
You know, it's funny also about guys and girls because I don't know if this is true, correct me if I'm wrong, but growing up, guys, when they fight, they're like, see you outside, like, sumbagay ta, let's fight, like, whatever. And then, like, whoever wins, that's it, it's over. But girls, it's kind of like a mental fight.
It takes so long.
Yeah, it's like, is she mad at me or not? What does she think? I'm gonna put it to the test. I'm going to like do this mental battle, make a scenario mentally, and then I'll
Or
see.
chika behind the back.
Chika behind the back, la la la. And then after ilang months, I knew it! She's mad at me! Ang tagal. And then like, even if you patch things up, like there's always that seed of contempt or something. I don't know. That's a guy. I don't know if that is the same with guys.
No, guys tend to like fight, and then after that, mas napansin ko they get over it quickly. Feeling ko. And girls, when they fight, parang mas nagsisimmer.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then, pag girls nagfa-fight, parang sabunutan ng buhok.
What do you mean?
Like, it's always, when I see girls fighting, it's always them holding dresses or the hair.
So
and then
you've seen girls
pulling,
fight?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
It's college days. And then back and forth, nahawakan yung buhok niyan.
That's crazy.
Pag lalaki, like, suntukan talaga.
Yeah. Funny.
It's funny. Yeah. I've seen girls fight. Like, yeah.
I remember my sister and I used to fight back when we were super young. Like, she was elementary and I was like preschool, and she'd pin me to the wall and we'd pull each other's hair. I mean, that's normal for siblings, I guess, at the time. I don't know if it's normal now. But yeah, grabe. It's really different how girls and guys think.
When did you like start feeling na, okay, mom na talaga ako? Do you feel that?
Yeah, right after I gave birth, everything changed. Well, understandably so, but because before when I was pregnant, like I would still wear crop tops out to dinner with friends, and I remember one of our friends, Chase, told me like, "You're the only mom I know, like pregnant woman I know wearing a crop top out."
Of course, hindi naman yung sobrang laki na ng.
No, my stomach was huge then, but
Really? I don't
yeah,
know
high waist
this.
pants, crop
Okay.
top. I mean, you know what I mean? Like bagets pa rin yung style. Pero ngayon, parang when I'm cleaning out my closet, it's always like, hindi na to bagay sa mommy. What will Scott think of me if he sees me wearing this? Mga ganun na yung isip ko. I don't know why. Maybe it's also because we're at home all the time. That I'm not exposed anymore to the...
Possibly.
Right? Like,
Kasi
I don't
whenever
travel anymore. I'm just at home. And I'm always... Like, all the things I think about are home stuff. Like cooking, Scott, like managing our household. Like, that's it. Work. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
So there's no need for me to kind of pa-cute on Instagram. Kasi yung pinopost ko, mommy life, si Scott lang.
Pero
Wala
parang
nang
weird
travel,
na rin
wala
if
nang
magka-crop
OTD.
top ka ngayon. But
Wala
I think
nang-
you can carry it.
Thanks, love. But you know what I mean? Like, there's no need to, I don't know, for affirmation. It's not affirmation. No need to push my limits.
Imagine if Scott looked at your old photos on Instagram.
Ay, magka-cringe talaga siya. And when he's older and he sees all of the costumes I put him in, he's gonna like lecture me for
Yes.
sure.
Scott, it's your mom. I don't have anything to do
But
about it.
kasi, like, when I look at him, ang daming possibilities. You know, it also makes other people out there happy, like our followers, grabe, like our relatives, when they see his photos, parang, how can you not share this cuteness? That's how I feel.
Sometimes I feel like we're biased. We're like very biased.
Lahat naman talaga
to
ng
cuteness.
babies, I mean, nakaka-bring ng saya, right?
To the parents, for sure. Pero just to be blunt about it, I'm sure you don't find 100% of the babies cute.
Oh, yeah.
Diba? So baka
Preference pa rin, subjective.
hindi siya cute to other people, si Scott. Like, pero
Siguro.
ano siya?
Siguro. Pero baka
Pero
may market
sobrang
pa
biased
rin siya.
tayo.
May market pa rin siya. lahat ng tao may market.
Yeah.
So yung mga babies na hindi cute para sa atin, may market din sila, love.
Pwede.
And kanina, I was just telling my dad, oh my God, Scott is the smartest baby alive. Like he was walking and then he led me to this room and then he got talaga the toy that he got last week. How did he know where the room was from where we were? Like, that's brilliant. And then my dad's comment was, only a parent will ever say that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my baby's so smart. Like,
Yeah. Like, when you say that, I don't know kasi there's no reference.
yung reference ko is si Scott before. Like, he would never be able to do that. And now, like,
Yeah, I think
it
sa akin-
surprises me that he can do that already. Kasi I spent 24 hours with him. So, I mean, like, I know him inside out. I know, like, what he's capable of thinking and not. And now, parang, well, I'm still so proud of that moment. That's why. It
Sa
really,
akin kasi,
it
maybe
boggles
I'm-
my mind.
My brain works in like super scientific evidence-based thing.
So,
when you
yung
say,
iniisip mo, like, he's 10 months old and 1 day today. So, at 10 months old and 1 day,
compared to other babies,
yeah.
ano siya? Kumusta siya?
Honey.
Is he really smart? I know.
It's not good to compare, honey.
And I'm not trying to compare. It's just that when you make these comments, naiisip ko, when you say he's smart, compared to what siya na smart? Because eventually, they become older people and people know their way around the house.
So, nag-isip ka ng analytics ni Scott.
Hindi siya analytics. It's like, relative to what? Parang,
Wala, relative to him in the past. I'm comparing him to himself.
yeah, I understand. I really understand where you're coming from. It's just sa utak ko parang, sometimes I wish it would just shut up.
Yeah, like there
Enjoy
are
the
so many
moment.
things. There are so many things that you question me about. Like, for example, at night, when you're researching, drinking your whiskey, reading your whatever you're reading online, and then you see me and I'm looking at baby photos of Scott, and then you ask me like, "What pa ka na humandiha? You're not yet done looking at that. You look at that
No,
every
I don't
night."
question that.
It's something like you laugh about, or but at the back of your mind, you're like, "I want like that's not something you would do."
It's not at the back of my mind. I know it's not something I would do. I mean, I'd probably look at it 2 years, 3 years from now, but not like it's fairly recent, diba? Pero I question you because I find it so amusing that you find it fun.
I find it so
and
fun.
it's very endearing.
I'm obsessed with their child.
Yes.
And I feel like
That's good.
every day he changes so much. And when I see my camera roll, because it's all Scott,
Oo.
even like photos of last week, 2 weeks ago, like he couldn't stand, he couldn't walk. And now he's walking without holding anything at 10 months. How crazy is that? Like
Yeah. He's not walking. He's like taking 2 steps.
taking 3-4 steps.
Okay, for 3, 4.
Yeah.
Ang galing niya. He's so
yeah,
smart.
I'm proud. Do you know how long he can stand without anyone holding
8
him?
seconds.
8 seconds.
Right.
Alam ko lahat. Yeah. I think how obsessed you are with like researching about everything. That's me with Scott. Huh?
I think that's why you research a lot when it comes to Scott.
Because I love him so much.
Because it's that same obsession.
Yeah. I even wouldn't call it an obsession. I feel like there's a...
It's genuine, unconditional love. From
Yeah.
a
And I
mother.
think like naturally as a mom, like nature programmed me this way. That when I gave birth to him, I need to know where he is at all times. Like when I just gave birth, remember I was taking a shower, Scott was a few weeks old, and I heard him cry from the hallway, and my boob started leaking milk. Like, what? Is there a Bluetooth connection between his tears and my milk? Like, it's a natural thing. Nature designed it that way. And now, like, that doesn't happen anymore. But honestly, when I hear him say "mama," the instinct is there to just rush in and grab him.
Yeah.
And save him.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what it is. I mean, I tried to stop myself because, like, obviously he can't come running to mama for every small thing. Like, he bumps his head or whatever. But the instinct is there. And when I carry him and I hold him, I know this sounds weird, but I really feel whole. And I'm supposed to be whole without him, but when I carry him, it's like the puzzle pieces just fit.
Ah, that's nice, love.
I'm crying. An emotional mama. Yeah, but it's true. That's how I feel.
That's good, Rom. Oh, you're crying.
Yeah. Oh, stop na. I'm shy.
We'll let you cry first.
But it's true. A mama's love. It's really true.
Imagine, no, dati, like, when we were younger, especially me, I treated my mom fairly not
Poorly.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So parang masakit din for them.
Yeah. You know that story, the ugly duckling?
Yeah.
That only the mom finds the baby cute.
Mm.
That's so legit on so many levels. Na parang, even my mom now, like, she will bend over backwards for any of her kids.
And for us also.
And for us, exactly. I'm her kid, right?
Like, I mean, like me, Scotty also.
Yeah, like go above and beyond, even if it means sacrificing everything. And that's something that I would definitely do for Scott. So when I had my own kid, parang now I understand ano ba talaga yung a mother's love. Like, iba, ang lalim niya.
Yeah. But ang sakit pag it's unrequited.
Yeah.
No?
Uy, so to everyone now listening, give a hug to your moms.
Yeah. Hi, Mom.
Hindi Mother's Day ngayon, pero they deserve all of our love.
Oh, like even my mom listens to every podcast.
Yeah.
Like the last last upload we did, the one with Iya and Drew, the first few hours, mali yung na-upload natin, di ba?
Yeah.
And it was just at the end lang yung mali.
Yeah, like the last 5 minutes.
Tapos Shell pa nagsabi sa amin, uy, may mali yung podcast mo.
Yeah. That's like crazy support, you know. And how proud she is of you and how she reads the comments and she tells you like, hey, there's one hater. Like, yeah, I mean, that's something. My dad watches all of our videos.
Really?
And even if he doesn't watch it, he plays it. So there's one view. Isn't that like, I find it so special. I mean, a lot of parents, their generation, they're not so good at showing their affection the way we are with Scott, where I hold him every day and I say, I love you so much, la 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 la. Like, I don't know if that's something you do with your family, but a lot of families, parang, it's hard to say I love you to your parents, right?
Kami, very rarely. It's more of a gesture thing than words.
But I feel like that gesture, like being so supportive of anything that you do, is showing that tenfold, right?
Yeah. Or even just letting me be.
Yeah.
Like,
letting you grow.
Letting me grow. Ang hirap din for them because they have their own ideas of what would be good for me.
Right.
So, like my mom letting me go join PBB. Like, parang malaking bagay.
Yeah, it's nice to, now that we're looking from a parent's perspective, kind of, we can appreciate all of these things. No? And I can imagine when Scotty's older, like if he'll get into a passion, let's say he's gonna be a basketball player or a soccer player, and I'm gonna be on the side, like, yes, anak, go! Like, yeah, drive him to all of his like pick him up if he's like in the middle of the night, if he needs my help, like I like drop everything for Scott, and I'm sure that's not gonna be appreciated until when he's way older. But that's something I'm willing to do because, like, you just love someone so much. I mean, it's funny how we never knew that kind of love until now.
Yeah. Natatakot na ako ngayon that Scott might make you cry in the future. Tapos aawayin ko siya.
I'm sure it's gonna happen. I mean, normal.
Because I remember I used to make my mom cry and my dad would get really, really mad at me.
Yeah.
Like, dati may inaway ko yung mom
you were
ko.
mean,
And
right,
my dad
before.
pushed me against a wall talaga kasi sobrang galit niya.
But you were mean before, sabi mo.
Oo, mainit ulo ko.
Yeah.
Dati. Yeah.
So that's your job now to, like, make sure Scott is on the right path.
Sud kitag sako ron.
Isud og sako niya pa kunog bakos.
Lagay sa, anong sako sa Tagalog?
Like a sack, like a rice sack.
Tagalog?
I don't know. But you know that's true. Like, okay, I know someone legit. You know him also. They live in the province. Gisud gyud siya sako. Like, he was placed because he was such a like bad kid. Like, would fight. I don't know what he did, but they said he's a bad kid. So they put him in a sack, tied him to a tree, and literally beat him with a belt, which is like child abuse. Yeah. Yeah, that's really crazy.
Yeah, my lolo one time hit me with a belt. Naalala ko.
And
but
what
that was
happened?
like sobrang tagal na. Like, wala pang things na...
Wala pang bantay bata.
Wala pang mga ganyan. There's no concept of child abuse. That was proper discipline at that time. Yun yung mentality.
Right.
Yeah. Wala lang, sobrang nakakatakot.
So what happened? Like, you did something bad. He hit you with a belt, and after...
Sobrang takot ka na sa... sobrang takot na ako sa lolo ko.
But were you still a bad kid?
I think it doesn't matter. I think kids have... There's always a naughty kid na personality, and it's a matter of you as a parent trying to channel that energy. I think like we're fairly
not there
new,
yet.
yeah. Pero
Yeah.
parang sa isip ko ngayon, it's like there's just people that are there's kids na mabait talaga, mahinhin, or like they don't move a lot.
And there's kids na super malikot,
super
wais,
extrovert,
yeah.
sneaky, and it's just I think it's trying to find the good in that, like sneaky kids, like let's say mas wais sila or may mas diskarte sila, so it's just channeling that energy.
Right.
But that's me coming from a beginner dad.
I was never beaten growing up. Like, hitting anyone was never a form of punishment in my household. The most was my dad got my hand and then like kind of patted it like a high five and then asked me, does it hurt? And I was more scared of does it hurt? And I just said yes because I was so scared. And that was it. Yeah. I remember like when I was younger, if I did something bad, it was more the wrath of my parents that I would be afraid of more than the punishment. Because we weren't really punished.
I think ang mas masakit rather than the spanking or the yelling, it's when ganito yung pagbitaw nila ng salita. Like, you know what you did? I'm so disappointed. Yung disappointment or mas masakit siya kaysa sa, anong ginawa mo?
Yeah. That was my parents before. Like, you broke the plate! Paghinay lagi!
But my dad never got angry. Mom and dad never got angry at, well, my dad more so than my mom. Pag aksidente, mas hindi sila nagagalit. Like, I think that's...
Did it help you kind of become more careful? Or...
No, because it was an accident. It helped me become more forgiving. Because right now, even like, yung mga kasambahay natin break something or
okay.
like with Scott, it's an accident.
It's fine,
yeah. Parang, it doesn't even register to me and I forget it like 5 minutes after.
Right.
Hindi siya mabigat sa akin.
Kaya ang daming sila sa bahay natin joke.
Dami kong kailangan ayusin.
Yeah. It's true. Ang dami nga.
But I think it's not worth the, like people
make mistakes.
Like tayo, if we were cleaning plates all day or whatever.
Yeah, meron talaga mababasa.
Yeah.
Right.
So parang it's part of it.
Yeah. Wow.
Adulting plates na.
Adulting, I know. It's like no matter what we talk about, we always end up talking about kids and home. That's adulting.
Yeah.
When you become adults. Oh, I heard from my friend, like when you have kids, whenever you have dinner parties, that's the ending that you always talk about. Kids. Your kids, your kids, your kids. So that's something that we have to like be mindful of when we're out with our friends finally in the future. To not always talk about our kids.
Unless they have their own kids. So parang magiging mom and dad topic siya. But yeah, when we talk to our friends din na hindi naman tayo maabot sa kids eh. Kasi sa kanila din, they don't even bring up
like how Scotty, because they don't know, like they don't know
like ano yung mga
the attachment is there or what.
Yeah, it's like how's Scotty? Oh, he's learning how to walk now. Oh,
okay,
that's nice.
cool.
Yeah,
Anyway,
cool.
you know what happened to me?
Yeah. It's more like that. Na mas random yung topics dati. Like, dati, pag nag-iinuman kami, umaabot kami sa shapes ng mga tae.
Ew! Guys!
Yung mga sobrang random. This was college.
I'm growing up.
Make sure you're not listening to our podcast during dinner. With that said,
good night,
kami naman ang magdi-dinner. Good night, guys.